How would your business change if every new client you work with brought you 2 or 3 more? How would your life change if that created a steady surge of organic growth? And what if you could see that kind of transformation without spending more money on ads or pestering people for referrals? In this video, we're going to show you 2 simple referral systems that can help you do exactly that, using the clients and relationships you already have. Because if your entire strategy is just asking for a referral after the sale, you're missing out on a much bigger opportunity. So let's dive into 2 ways you can turn 1 client into 3 without ads. We need to start by reimagining the goal of our client interactions. Most real estate agents, contractors, and lenders are focused just on completing the sale, because that means the client's happy and we get paid. And then we move on to the next person in the pipeline and try to close their deal too. We bounce from client to client, always selling something. And once a client has bought from us, we typically just say thank you and move on to the next. This is natural and common in our industry. It's what clients expect from us because it's the same kind of relationship they have with everybody else. What if the sale wasn't the finish line? What if it was just one milestone in a much longer lasting relationship? Think about your last client for a second. Not the transaction, a person. Do they have friends or family you could work with? Do you have people in your network who could help them? Are there future projects that they will need help with? And if you had to call them in 2 weeks, would you actually have something to talk about? If the answer to those questions is no, don't worry. Most of us get so focused on the deal that we forget about the people we're dealing with. And here's the thing, these referral systems we're going to cover aren't magic scripts. They're not million-dollar email templates. They are built on something much more simple. We're talking about just real, genuine relationships and treating people like people. Here's where a little imagination is required. Imagine if your clients didn't disappear after the deal closed, but became part of a community, your community, a community of people who stay in your orbit and naturally refer and repeat business as a result. That's what these simple systems are designed to facilitate. These are not pushy tactics or constant asks, but structured ways to create real value and stay connected. So let's break down 2 referral systems that can help you turn 1 client into 3, starting with how to get referrals directly. Now, most people treat referrals like an added bonus, but if you want consistent growth, you need to make referrals part of the plan. And that starts from your very first interaction. So step 1 on how to get referrals directly. Set clear expectations up front. Personally, I've been on a few thousand sales calls and have become a big believer in starting relationships with transparency. Early on, usually in my first real conversation with a new client, I like to set clear expectations for how I hope our relationship develops. I'll say something like, hey, I've got a few goals in meeting with you. First, I will obviously want you to choose me for this project. Second, I want you to have that fabulous experience working with me. And third, I want you to be so happy with the process and the outcome that you end up recommending me to everyone you know. This usually comes across as lighthearted, but it also does 3 important things. First, it tells them that I want their business. Very important. Number 2, it establishes my commitment to providing them a great customer experience. Number 3, it plants a seed that I want referrals if I deliver on those first 2. Now, if you're in sales, it is no secret that you want to earn their business. So why not just talk about it plainly? Naming the obvious can help remove the awkwardness that can develop in a sales interaction. But the real benefit of doing this is once you've shared your goals, you get to ask your client about theirs. You say, I've shared what success looks like for me. What would it look like, or what would make this project a win for you? This simple question can uncover what matters most to your client and make sure you're both working towards the same outcome. It is a wonderfully simple way to start off on the right foot. Step 2, I like to bring friends, family, and neighbors into the conversation early and often. Now, most of the people I've trained over the years either don't ask about friends, family, or neighbors at all, or they wait until the very end when they're asking for referrals. This is a mistake for 2 reasons. First, you never know who is influencing your client's buying decision. I always want the chance to talk to everyone, all stakeholders directly. Second, meeting potential referrals early gives you more opportunities to build trust and earn future business. Here's how I like to do this, something that has worked for me. Throughout the conversation, I like to ask questions like, do you have any friends, family, or neighbors who have done a project like this? Who did they use? Why aren't you using them? This tells me a lot about their expectations, their past experiences, and their influences. I also like to ask something like, is there anyone else you know who's thinking about doing a project like this? And if the answer is yes, then hey, do you want to invite them over? Often those people are already part of the conversation behind the scenes. By bringing them into the room, I can answer their questions directly. I can build trust faster, and I can win over the entire crew and even secure referrals before my first sale even closes. Now, step 3, take notes along the way with the intention to follow up. No one likes when the salesperson calls just to check in. But people do appreciate a personal, thoughtful follow-up that shows you're actually listening. That's why it's so important to take notes throughout the relationship, not just about the project, but about their lives. Let's say they mention a family vacation they're going to take in March. Let's say they mention their son's graduation in June, or they have got a favorite sports team or hobby. Taking notes on these details gives you specific human reasons to follow up weeks or months later. So instead of asking, hey, just calling to see if you need anything, you can ask, hey, how was that trip to Maui? Or, hey, how did your son's graduation go? Calling with this level of intention will blow people's minds. It turns a simple follow-up from a transaction into more of a relationship. And people don't refer salespeople they barely know. They refer people they like and trust. These 3 steps put together have some really cool side benefits too if you can make them part of the habit. When you consistently set clear goals up front, when you involve the people who matter most to your clients, and when you follow up with real care, a few things start to happen. You naturally start to build stronger relationships, you create better client experiences, and you close more deals and get more referrals without being salesy. And treating people like people isn't just good business, it makes your work more enjoyable and sustainable. Please give these 3 steps a try. I promise you they're worth it. Now, last part of this video, let's talk about the second system, which is how to get referrals indirectly. Now, some of the best referrals you'll receive won't come directly from your clients, but they'll come because of your clients. So think about it this way. Your clients are rarely moving through their housing journey alone. They need contractors, lenders, real estate agents, inspectors, insurance reps, staging, property management, handymen, landscapers, just you name it. And if you've been in this industry a while, you already know what your clients will need and the people who do that work. So how can you play matchmaker in a way that helps you, your client, and your community? Now, let's also break down this system into 3 more simple steps. Step 1 is identify who your clients will need before they do. Now, most of your clients don't know exactly what they'll need, and they will rely on you as the expert. If you've been down this road hundreds of times before, you'll be able to anticipate what they'll need before it becomes a problem for them. For example, if you're working with a buyer, they might need a lender and a painter. Your seller, they might need a stager and some junk removal. Your remodel client, they might need a designer and a landscaper. Now, anticipating these needs and introducing people early reinforces you and your role as a trusted guide, not just as a salesperson. It also creates opportunities to strengthen your relationships with people in your community. And if you don't have a professional community, and if you don't know anybody who does that type of work, please just stop right now, take a minute to join the waitlist for the California Housing Collective by clicking the link in the description below. We're an awesome community and we'd love to get to know you. Now, step 2 is you need to frame your referrals as added value, not as a requirement or an upsell. You never want this to sound like, hey, I've got a buddy you can use. Instead, we want to keep it light, helpful, and totally optional. For example, let's say you say, a lot of my clients need help with XYZ at this stage. Do you already have someone to work with? Would you like me to introduce you to someone I know? This keeps the ball entirely in their court while also reinforcing that you're looking out for them. And every time you make an introduction like this, you're strengthening the relationships between you, your client, and your community. You're letting them know, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I've got the team that can help. Now, step 3 in this process is you need to close the loop with your network partners. Here's the step that most people end up forgetting. When you send someone a referral, you have to follow up with them, and not just to see if the deal closed. Why? It reinforces that you are a serious partner. Number 2, it opens the door for reciprocal referrals. Number 3, it keeps you top of mind for your community as well. You can just say something as simple as, hey, I wanted to let you know that I sent Sarah your way. She was doing a kitchen remodel and needed a great electrician, and you were the first name that came to mind. And that starts the conversation. Now, if you refer your clients to your community once or twice, it might lead to a few new opportunities. But if you build this into your process, your community, the people that you know, can become a living, breathing, growing referral engine. Over time, clients see you as more of a connector and not just a service provider. Your partners will begin to trust and depend on your referrals, and they will send you opportunities in return. This is the long game. It's how you build a community, not just a contact list. And it's how you turn one client into 3. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and you want to learn how to build a network that actually brings business back to you, I created a free resource called the Partnership Kickstart Checklist. It'll help you identify the right partners, set up simple systems, and grow your referral pipeline without having to rely on cold leads or running more expensive ads. I think that's enough content for today. For those of you who made it to the very end, thank you. Keep learning, keep building, and keep connecting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.